Hello and welcome. If you've ever felt that English articles, a, an, and the, are just this frustrating puzzle with a million rules and even more exceptions, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're not just going to learn the rules. We are going to crack the code.
I mean, it's a feeling pretty much every English learner shares, right? When to use the? When is it a? And why do you sometimes use nothing at all? It can feel so random, almost impossible to get right. But what if I told you it's not? What if it's actually simple?
Now, check this out. This is a pretty bold statement from our source material. The promise here is that we can literally throw out all those long lists of rules and exceptions we were all forced to memorize. Instead, we're going to use simple logic to finally understand articles once and for all. Okay, let's dive in.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with a really basic blueprint, then we'll uncover the two simple secrets behind a and the, and finally, we'll use that logic to completely dismantle those so-called exceptions. By the end of this, you'll have a whole new way of looking at English grammar.
Okay, first things first, we're jumping right into section 2, the noun phrase blueprint. See, to understand articles, we first need to understand where they live. And their home is something called the noun phrase. It's like the fundamental building block for so much of the English language.
So think of a noun phrase as a simple little recipe with 3 ingredients. First, you've got the determiner. This is where articles like a and the hang out. Then comes an adjective, which just describes the noun. And finally, the noun itself, the person, place, or thing we're actually talking about. And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look at a new book. A is the determiner, new is the adjective, and book is the noun. It's the same exact pattern for many good students and the best answer. See that? It's a super consistent blueprint.
Now, here's the really cool part. This whole structure is flexible. You can take out the adjective and just say, a book. You can even get rid of the noun if everyone knows what you're talking about, like, of all the answers, yours is the best. So the blueprint is more of a guide, not some rigid cage you have to follow. All right, let's move on to section 3, the secret of a/an. This right here is the first major key to cracking the whole article code. I'm telling you, this one little insight is going to clear up so much confusion.
That's it. Seriously, that's the big secret. If you look at the history of the word, is just a shorter, weaker, kind of lazy way of saying the word one. Once you get that a basically just means one, everything else just clicks into place.
So here's how you use that. The test is simple. If you can logically put the word one in front of a noun, you can use a. You can have one book, right? So you can say a book. But can you have one men? Nope. How about one honesty or one water? Doesn't make sense. So if the noun can't be counted as one, you just don't use a. That's it. No rules to memorize, just pure logic.
Okay, let's keep building on this in section 4. We've got a totally figured out, so what about its famous partner? Let's talk about the power of the.
You guessed it, there's another simple secret here. Just like a comes from one, the is just a weaker form of pointer words like that or those. Its whole job is to point at something specific. When you say the, you're basically telling your listener, hey, you know which one I'm talking about? That one.
Let's look at this side by side. If I say I need a book, I mean I need any book. Just one book. It's not specific. But if I say I finished the book you lent me, I mean I finished that specific book. The points right to the one book we both know about. It's a pointer.
And what's really cool is that the pointing doesn't even have to be spelled out. If you tell your roommate I'm going to the office, they know you mean your office. If you're sitting in a car and ask, can I open the window, you're obviously pointing to the window right next to you. The context does all the pointing for you.
Okay, so we have our two keys. A means one, and the means that. Now it's time for the final test. This is section 5, decoding the exceptions. Get ready, because this is the big aha moment where it all comes together. We're going to take this simple logic and just blow up all those confusing rules we had to memorize.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, that's great, but what about the names of oceans and mountain ranges and countries? My teacher made me memorize a whole list of special rules for those. Well, are they really special rules? Let's see.
Ah yes, here they are, the usual suspects. We're always told these are proper nouns that exceptionally need the. But let's stop memorizing and start thinking. Let's apply our blueprint and see what's actually going on here. Okay, let's put the Pacific Ocean under the microscope. What is the? It's our determiner, our pointer word. Pacific? Well, that's just an adjective describing the noun. So what's the actual noun? It's ocean. Now, is ocean a unique proper noun? Of course not. There's the Atlantic, the Indian, the Arctic. There are several oceans. It's a common noun. So the Pacific Ocean simply means that ocean which happens to be the Pacific one.
And boom, there it is, the aha moment. It was never an exception to the rule. It was a perfect logical example of our noun phrase blueprint working exactly as it should. We were just taught to look at it the wrong way the whole time.
And this same logic works everywhere you look. The Alps, that's just a shorter way of saying the Alp Mountains. It's pointing to those specific mountains. The United States, it's pointing to those specific states that are united. It's the same simple logical pattern over and over and over again. No exceptions. So let's wrap this all up in our final section, number 6, your new grammar superpower. Seriously, you can forget the lists, you can forget the exceptions. What you have now is a simple, logical way to understand English articles correctly every single time. Let's just quickly recap the code. Number 1, noun phrases have that simple 3-part structure. Number 2, if you can't logically say one of something, you don't need a. And number 3, the big one. Just remember that a means one and the means that. That's really the core of the whole thing.
So I'm going to leave you with a final thought, kind of like a challenge. Now that you have the code, you've officially switched from memorizing to analyzing. So as you read and listen to English from now on, try to spot this logic in action. I think you'll be amazed at how a system that once seemed totally chaotic is actually beautifully, simply, and consistently logical.